just to give everybody a little bit of information about Camilo, he's a Chilean filmmaker based in Mexico City. In 2022, his short, Kiss Me Goodbye, premiered. And then in 2023, he wrote and directed Jano and Dafi, which premiered at Sanfic in 2025, and it's currently running through the festival route. He also has directed many music videos and branded content, with further developed his intimate dramedy style that explores the complexities of human relationships. So, wow. So I'd like to start by asking you, how did you first get into filmmaking? Was it in Chile or was it when you had moved to Mexico?
Yeah, I first wanted to be a musician in Chile, so I didn't want to go to college at all. But since in a upper middle class family in South America, you have to go to college because that's how it's supposed to be. I chose film school, and I wasn't into film that much, but then I started taking the classes and watching the films. I watched a lot of like Noah Baumbach, Mike Mills, that kind of stuff, and I really got into film. And then yeah, I took it from there. That was in Chile, and then I shot my short film, Kiss Me Goodbye. Then I moved to Mexico with my cat and my girlfriend at the time, and that's where the story comes from.
Oh, wow. So is it safe to say that the cat, Chopin, is your cat in the film?
No, that cat is an actor. It's like the best paid actor of the film. No, for real, it was a very expensive cat.
Chopin did a phenomenal job, right, with the expressions. How difficult was that to get the cat to actually participate for the camera and give you what you need?
It was pretty difficult, but really it was a joy. I mean, who doesn't like to record and film cats? Like, it's amazing. Like, we all do it with our phones or whatever. But in the actual process of shooting the film, he had a trainer who told him like, stay there, and we basically work around his schedule. Like, he's a star.
Yeah, and what was that process like as far as like the casting? Because I love the cast, I loved the locations too. What was that like for you as far as like getting that locked in and situated for filming?
Well, a lot of them are my friends in Santiago. The main apartment is my mom's apartment. I used to live there for a long time. My university was in the same neighborhood. Those were the streets where I went to college and have my early experiences. Casting-wise, well, since you mentioned the short film, those are the same actors from the short film. So the feature film is like a expansion of that short film. And yeah, it's kind of mix it up. Some like theater actors, professional actors, first-time actors, it's everything. Yeah.
And so you had filmed it in Santiago. And what was that like as far as like deciding where you were going to film? Because I know you were living in Mexico, right? Mexico City.
Yeah, that was actually really important because I wrote the film when I was living in Mexico City, so it was kind of like nostalgic for that city, for Santiago, and I think you can see that in the film. Like it's I don't know. It's, you can say it's a romanticized version of the city, and it was an amazing experience to shoot in that streets where I grew up, basically.
Yeah, and one thing about your storytelling is I enjoyed the music, because obviously you started in music, and so the choices that you had in the film are phenomenal, and you shot it in black and white. Tell us what made you want to decide to film it in black and white?
Well, the black and white thing, it's since the film is like pretty contemporary, there are phones, cats, it's like very millennial coded in a way. I wanted to give it a more classic style, and I think black and white is timeless, and since it was my first film, and it's very hard to convince people to let you shoot in black and white, I just said, well, whatever, I'm not gonna get another chance to do this, so I did it.
Right. So what was it that you feel throughout the process that makes film, especially from Chile, so popular internationally, as well as film in Mexico, that really strikes a chord with a lot of audiences?
Say that again?
What, in your opinion, makes you think why people gravitate toward film from Chile and Mexico, considering that both industries are they're real popular films internationally?
I don't know. I really wasn't aware of that, but I'm glad. I hope it stays that way.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what about any projects that you have coming up after this film?
I'm working on my second feature set in Mexico City. It's a dramedy about a comedian who is ghosted by his therapist. So he goes on a road trip to look for him across Mexico.
Wow, that sounds interesting. What about any other destinations as far as like filming? You shot in Chile, you're gonna shoot this in Mexico. Any other destinations, like for example, Houston?
Maybe, yeah, I'd love to shoot all over the world. It'd be amazing, yeah. Maybe one film for each city.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Absolutely, yeah, because as you know, Houston is very international, a melting pot with a lot of people from different parts of the world and Latin America, so you would have quite a selection as far as like any actors that are out there. Yeah, absolutely. So what about as far as like the music? So the choices for the film, I really enjoyed the music, like I was telling you earlier, when they were both writing with Mr. and that
Mr. Mote.
Yeah, Mr. Mote, and that really at least it conveyed to the audience, or for me, how much you really loved her. And throughout the piece, in the different moments, especially when they go see the two friends and you hear the club music. So tell us those choices. Was that something that you already had chosen, or?
No, I have to give credit to the composer. Her name is Alfonsina Garcia. She's an amazing composer from Chile. She just got her album out, so you can check her out. And yeah, I gave her a lot of freedom. I basically showed her the film, and I was like, "What do you hear?" And we went that way, and it turned out good, I think.
Amazing, right? And so now I'd like to open it up for audience questions for the director. Yes, sir.
The timestamps in the film really added to the narrative. I don't know if the impact would have been the same without those timestamps. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, thank you for the question. I too think they're really important. Since it's just one night, it actually gives a sense of urgency. I think I stole it from this French film, La Haine, the Hate. I don't know what's the translation, but it also has timestamps, so I just rip it off.
Any other questions from the audience? Yes.
I love when you touched on the decision to shoot in black and white. But I think as a filmmaker, black and white is very daunting, and trying to pin down specifically what kind of black and white, I think is very interesting to me. So how did you go about deciding specifically what black and white look you wanted?
Yeah, great question. Since as a filmmaker, you said you have to make a lot of decisions. So I think it's very important to trust your collaborators and have a good colorist who gets you and who likes the film and who can put his own spin on the color. So yeah, I gave him a lot of freedom too. I'm that kind of person, I think.
Let's see, we had a question right here.
So my question was really regarding what was your reasoning behind picking Jano in order to sympathize, especially with your personal life leading to Mexico City, how?
Loaded question. Basically, I always thought about Jano as the main character since he was. I mean, I identify with both characters, and if I look back through my life, it was more of like switch. Like I was more of like Dafi's character, but with Jano's personality and with Chopin's, whatever. I don't know. It's a mix of everything. Like filmmaking is sometimes kind of a dream, so you have like all of the characters something of yourself. So I don't know. It's hard to say, but I sympathize with both of them really.